You're watching Vietnam Steve, and I've got a good one for you today. Thought I'd have a crack at the live stream and get your feelings about Christmas and the end of the year and what's happening in the new year. So the first thing I want to do here is try and get this thing up on my big screen so I can actually view your questions. So just bear with me for a moment and I'll have a crack at that. All right, we've got this sucker going on the laptop, and now I'm just going to try and punch it across to the big television. Looks like it's going over there. All right, let's go back. Make sure I turn the sound off on the TV here. On the laptop. All right, fantastic. Welcome along. It's been a long time since I've had a live stream with you, and really wanted to take the opportunity to check in with everybody before Christmas, see how you're going, run through a couple of things that are on my mind, and turn off a bit of the sound here, so just bear with me and I'll get the remote for the other sound bar, bring you back to me. Got two sound bars here on my large screen TV, and having a bit of trouble getting you up on the TV, so I'll have to just go back and try that fella again. Let me see if I can go to YouTube and see if I can live stream myself on the TV. I'm not a technical guru, and so some of this stuff is a little bit interesting for me. It's not wanting to show me myself. Oh, here we are. Vietnam Steve is live. How good's that? So we'll punch that one on. And all systems go. So connecting to the live chat, I've got you all here with me now, and I'm ready to go. I've got about an hour this morning, so I thought let's take the opportunity to talk about some of the things that are on my mind and let you know just a little bit about what's happening here in the run-up to Christmas, the new year, and what that might mean for Vietnam Steve. I can see a thumbs up there. So hopefully that thumbs up means you can hear me. So that's fantastic news. I'm in Ha Long Bay today. I'm in my apartment, which is at a complex called the Dragon Castle, and just made myself a coffee. I'm looking out the window here. We've got, it's a cloudy day, but I can see some blue sky. So it's not as bitterly cold as it has been. And I'm going to get out there in the sun a little bit later on. I've got a couple of things that I have to do this morning. I've got a colleague calling me from Melbourne at about 11 or 12, I can't remember. And I've also got another colleague calling me from Outback, New South Wales at 11 or 12, I can't remember either. So I know at 11 and 12 I've got something on. So it's a late lunch for Vietnam Steve today, but suffice to say the weather looks great out there. I haven't been out for a walk this morning yet. It's been very cold here in the mornings, and so what I've been doing is doing those walks a little later in the evening. I've really been enjoying the last few weeks. I haven't had too much on my plate. I've been able to relax. I have to tell you that twice in the last 2 weeks I've had an exceptional sleep of of over 8.5 hours. My trusty watch tells me that I slept for 8.5 hours, and that is a good sleep in anybody's language. I've also got a health notification here that says my resting health rate has dropped in the last month, and I've been here for about a month now. And so living in Vietnam is good for my health. The other thing that I wanted to tell you about where I am here is that Ha Long is divided into two parts. We have Hong Gai, which is the old town of Ha Long, and we have Bai Chai, which is the newer side, the more touristy side. And there's a big bridge that goes between the two, and the bridge is all lit up nicely at night, and you might have seen that in some of the tour photographs and videos. So this apartment is on the Bai Chai side, so I'm across the bridge, and it does cost me about $3 or $4 to get over to where I want to go on the other side. I don't go down to the tourist strip all that often, but I do get over to the old town every day. And heading over there later today, I've found a very nice cafe over there that sells probably the best coffee I've had in Vietnam. And it has a VIP section, and what that means is you can't get into that section unless you're a VIP or you know a VIP. Now, I'm not a VIP, but I do know a few VIPs. And so when I go there, I can generally get into the VIP section. The VIP section is inside, which is good this time of the year. It's probably 15 degrees outside. And also not as crowded. So there's just beautiful people and spare space and not as crowded. So I have been enjoying those coffees, and thank you to my VIP girls that have been getting me in there. I really appreciate that. I've got a few things I want to get through today, but I am interested in your questions. So if you've joined the conversation late and you've got a question about Vietnam, put it in the chat. I've got a great setup here. I've got the camera on the selfie stick. I hope that I'm streaming to you horizontally. So if it's all going vertical, please let me know and I'll bury this and start again. Behind my camera, I've got the big screen smart TV, and I've got myself streaming up there. Now the reason for that is that very difficult to see the chat as it comes through on my camera, but obviously you'd have to be blind not to see it coming through on the big screen TV that's over the back there. The coffee today is a Vietnamese style coffee, but it's one that just comes in a packet. It's got a 3-in-1 logo on it, and that means it's got sugar, whitener and coffee in it. I find them quite nice, good for a brew in the morning. The other thing that I do like to drink is a root drink, and I'll just go and get you the container for that and show you what it is. It's a root drink called Ca Gai Leo, and I can't exactly tell you what it is, but it's good for circulation and allegedly gets rid of cholesterol or fat in the blood. So it's this one here, Ca Gai Leo. I don't know if you can see that. And it's not a nice tasting drink. It's a acquired taste to drink, but I like it, and I have one of those. That's 100 grams in there. You basically put a smidgen on it's official measurement, smidgen, on a teaspoon, stir it up, and you have a black drink. But it's good for your circulation, and there's a picture of a heart and arteries and things on the cover here. So that's a good one. I usually have one of those as well. So I'll have the coffee, and I've got some water in case I have a coughing fit here, and I'll have a Ca Gai Leo a bit later on. So look, we'll finish the introduction there and get into the first thing I want to talk about, and that is Christmas in Vietnam. Happy Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year to all of you. And we made it. We made it through 2024. What a cluster that was. And here we are, coming up to Christmas now, and really looking forward to it. I look forward to Christmas every year, and I just love the time where people are less stressed about life in general, less stressed about work, and just less stressed about everything. They're in a mindset to have a good time. And so Christmas in Vietnam is one of those times. Now, I wanted to tell you a little bit about Christmas in Vietnam because it's different to other places I've been. The shops here are adorned with Christmas lights, Christmas trees, Christmas decorations, and the building here, even the building I'm in, is adorned with Christmas accoutrements, so it looks like Christmas. However, they don't celebrate Christmas. Christmas is, well, I'm pretty sure it's a working day. I'm not exactly sure this year, but I do know that Christmas Day, a couple of years ago, the kids had an exam on Christmas Day. So it's not really celebrated as a religious observance with a public holiday like I'm used to. And where I come from, Christmas is summertime and people have a month off. Here it's go to work. They might have a Christmas lunch, but they're still at work on that particular day. Thanks for the question, XXCGDR7Z. I'm not sure how to pronounce that name, but that's how it's spelt. How is tourism at Ha Long during this month? Look, it is interesting. I've seen quite a few Western people. I probably see one Western person per day. I don't get over to the tourist bars and nightclubs, etc. But I think people are coming through Vietnam in November, December. Now, obviously, Christmas time, most people would try and get home for Christmas. I know a gentleman who's a prolific YouTuber, and he's come to Vietnam for Christmas, and I'll be catching up with him hopefully in the new year. So I think tourism is fine. The issue I have is that the sun doesn't get up until 6:30 in the morning, and it's pitch black at 5:30 in the afternoon. So the days are very short. And Ha Long being a bayside city, a lot of things are bay related, and going out on the bay on a bitterly cold day is not an idea of fun. Good morning, Don Vito Corleone. Great to have you along, and thanks for commenting in the chat. New Year in Vietnam is a bit of a similar thing. So New Year's Eve, they will have a big party, and they'll recognise that we are moving from 2024 to 2025. But people aren't having New Year's Day off to recover from a bender. They'll have the bender and go to work. So Christmas in Vietnam is not really a celebrated holiday. All of that happens around the Tet time here in Vietnam, and that's the Chinese New Year, or should I say Vietnamese New Year, when everybody takes off a lot of time and just it's party central. I'm not going to be here for Christmas. I'm ducking back to Australia just for 1 week. I've got a number of little grandkids back there, and Christmas obviously is a time for the kids as well, and I want to be back there to celebrate with them. And also, it's not such a big celebration here. So I'll be back in Australia for Christmas, and just for a week or so, and seeing the joy that brings to 8 little grandkids, or 7, one on the way. That's it for Christmas commentary. Now, if you've got some Christmas comments, please put them in the comments, who would have thought, about how you're celebrating Christmas this year and where you're celebrating it. So you might be a a Swedish person, but you might be celebrating in Thailand, for instance, or you might be an Australian celebrating in Vietnam. Got a comment there. Present giving is not celebrated among Vietnamese Christians in Vietnam. Okay. Well, present giving is probably not really a Christian type thing. Present giving is a secular type thing. And I don't know that Christians anywhere would sort of say that is the main reason for Christmas. However, that said, present giving is celebrated by people in general, simply because it's nice to give a gift to someone. So I'm a lucky man. I've got a Vietnamese wife with a birthday coming up soon, and also Christmas coming up soon. And then I'm going to Australia to spread the joy with 7 or 8 grandkids down there. Let me know what you're doing for Christmas, and also where you're actually doing it, because it's a wide church that we have here on Vietnam Steve, and people are everywhere. I really do appreciate that. The third thing I wanted to cover off today was visit now. So a bit in line with the comment earlier, what's the tourism like in Ha Long? It's a great place to visit. So it doesn't seem overpacked now. I think the busy times would be August, September, October, so it's less busy, but there's still plenty to do. And you might have seen a couple of weeks ago, I went up to the hills, to Hill 1050, and had a great time in the back blocks of Vietnam with some friends of mine. And even before that, I went up to the Mong Kai border and into Hanoi. So there's a lot to do. And if you're thinking about coming to Vietnam, then go online today, get your visa organised. It takes about 3 days. So that would be the rest of this week, basically. And probably book your ticket for Wednesday next week. So you could be here this time next week, kicking back, drinking very cheap beer, and enjoying the sights and sounds of, well, I'll say it's the sights and sounds of Southeast Asia, but I think Vietnam is a little different to Southeast Asia. And so you'll be getting a great cultural experience next week if you book your visa today. I guess if you're coming, let me know. The other thing is, a lot of people say they're going to visit, but I find that it's a long way off, or there are a lot of conundrums in their visit, and I'd be interested in what's stopping you coming to Vietnam and enjoying a month or two here in the land of the rising dragon. So the third thing today in this live stream, and thank you for your comments and thank you for watching, is visit now. I love to get visitors. I'm a semi-retired expat living in Ha Long, and of course you can always buy me a beer. That's a great thing to do. I'm planning on catching up with quite a few people in the new year. I will be back here probably the first week of January, if at all possible. I'm a tightwad, so I'm looking at airfares on that today actually. So that's it. Come now. Now, as we get to the end of the year, there's plenty of things that I'm grateful for. And so I want to know from you as well in the comments what you're grateful for in 2024. I've got 3 that I thought would be useful to comment on or get your thoughts on. One is I'm just grateful for my life. Now, my life hasn't been easy. We've had trials and tribulations, but I am grateful for everything that's gone before, because it's made me who I am today, and it's made me create the life that I've created today. So I am grateful for the previous half a century, and hopefully the next half a century is going to be just as good. So life hasn't been always easy. We strive and struggle, particularly in the West, and there's many trials and tribulations that we're tested with. And that's how we need to, I think, recognise our life experiences. It's been a test that's made us what we are today. But those tests really demonstrate to us that we are resilient, we can get through the trials that beset us. And at the end of all of those, we end up with some joy. And so, while we can talk about the trials and tribulations of our life, it's the joy that brings the smile to our face. And so, I've got plenty of joy in my life. One is I don't have to work full time. I'm probably a barista fire if you follow the fire community. I just do a little to buy food and beer, and that's about it. The other joy I have is I have a great family that supports me, and also, the last 5 or 6 years I've had a lovely lady here in Vietnam that's agreed to be my partner and move through life with me. So that is a joy. And then to see the little grandkids coming through, and I mean, one of those grandkids is, well, 2 of them now, are 5 years old. So that is getting on there. They always look like small little kids, but 5 years old is getting up there. So I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for all the trials, but of course I'm ecstatic for all the joy that we have in life now. Now listen, I'm not seeing too many chats come through the chat. We've got a few people online, and I was hoping to answer your questions about Vietnam today. And so can't really answer your questions if I don't have questions in the chat. I'll take a bit of a breath there and get my thoughts together for a couple of other things that I think are useful to talk about today. You might have seen my YouTube a couple of weeks back on just how I record all of these things, and there's quite an art to it. I find live streaming YouTube a little difficult. I don't use a streaming platform. I stream it straight from the YouTube app, and that does have a few limitations. But essentially today we've got the iPhone 16 Pro Max filming me. We've got a microphone plugged into the power hole of the iPhone, and that Bluetooths across to the microphone on me. Now that little plug-in Bluetooth transponder is supposed to be able to take a charge through it. So in theory, you could still charge your iPhone while that thing's plugged in. That's not possible. It's not getting a charge. So when the battery on the iPhone runs out, the live stream is completed. I've got a button that'll, if I push it, it'll stop the recording, but it's just as easy for me to stick my finger on the screen. You guys don't stand on protocol here. And of course, I've got a selfie stick, and it's the cheapest selfie stick that you could have, and that's standing in front of me. It's down here, the ground. It's not on the ground. It's on a circular table, and it comes up to this height here. And then behind me, I'm looking at the big screen, so I can see when I get some chats through the chat. So nothing too complex about that. Now, the third thing, I covered the third thing, sorry. The first thing was, where am I? I've covered that. The second thing I covered was Christmas in Vietnam. And the third thing I covered was, visit now. Good time to visit. And the fourth thing was what I'm grateful for. So I might just pick you up. I'll turn you around and take you outside. Now, it may get a bit noisy outside. I'm not going to... okay, I'll go and get some shoes, slip-ons, just because it's a bit grubby out there, and I'll take you outside. So come with me, and we'll go out on the balcony, and I'll just show you what I'm actually looking at out there. So what I'm putting on here are the regulation Crocs. And these will just keep my white socks, these will keep my white socks clean. because I'm heading out after this. So out on the balcony here, and I'll turn this around so you can sort of see what's what. There you go. That's the view outside. I have a table that pulls up here, so I'm going to pull that up now, like that. And I'm going to stand you on there so you can look outside. And I'll bring you down a bit so you're not pointing too much up at the sky. So this is going to be an Aeon Mall down here. They're putting a fence around this big block of land, and then that will end up being the biggest shopping centre in Vietnam down there. The buildings on the horizon over there you might not be able to see. That is the Hong Kong side, and this is actually the port of Ha Long down here. So it's not a pretty view, it's the port of Ha Long, but needless to say, it's all lit up here, and it's all lit up on the other side over there, over near China. Nice gardens down along the side of that road down there. They look a bit yellow because it's been a bit cold, but I do a lot of walking down around here. If you've got any questions about the Dragon Castle or this side of town, then please put them in the chat and I'll respond to them. So what I'll do now is turn you back to me, and I don't think I can put that table down with one hand. Let's have an investigation. I think it needs two. I'll take you back inside, set you in front of my chair, have a good look at my picture there, and I'll just put that table back where it belongs. And I've also got a, close the door. I'm just heading over to take off the Crocs now, and I'll be right back with you. I might just get myself a biscuit while I'm over here, so please just bear with me. I know you're just looking at a blank screen, but actually I've got a couple of things I can show you here. So these are interesting Vietnamese things. You get a lot of this in Vietnam, and it's probably going to be useful for you guys. All right, let's get you up where you used to be. There we go. Good. I'm back. Travel plans for me. So what I just grabbed was these packaged biscuits. That's what we call them. Cookies, biscuits. 3 of them in there. They're like a shortbread type thing that you have with your cup of tea. So I might open that and munch on a couple of those while I'm here. The other thing is they have a lot of these singly packaged biscuits, again, cookies, and this one's a chocolate one. So I will open this one and show it to you. It's choco pie, and I probably shouldn't be having this for breakfast, but I'm getting a bit nibbly. It's a chocolate biscuit like this, so it's going to go well with the rest of my coffee. Good morning, Frugal Wanderer. Nice to see you here. Just testing out the live stream capabilities today. I'm not a fan of live streaming directly through the YouTube app. It's problematic, but here I am. All right, on with the show. Travel plans for Vietnam, Steve. I'm in Vietnam today. I'm planning to go to Australia for Christmas, as I mentioned, and then I'll be back to Vietnam immediately after that. That will take me through January, and I'll have some hot news for you in January, so stay tuned for that. And then early in the new year, I need to go to Kuala Lumpur to meet with some colleagues. So I'll be in Malaysia for a week or so in, I think it's March. And so please, if you're in Malaysia, hit me up. I'd love to let you buy me a beer. And then I'll be back to Vietnam or back to Australia. So there's never a dull moment, but I've always got some travel plans brewing. So I'm pretty keen to hear what the community out there has for travel plans. And even if it's not as immediate as mine in the next couple of weeks, what you're planning to do in 2025, where are you going to go and how are you going to get there? I fly because it's a long way for me, but obviously planes, trains and automobiles are all options. Now, as we come up to the new year, oh dear, I spilt that everywhere. People often make predictions about what they're going to do. And so New Year's resolutions, in the chat please, and I'll rate them on the Steve scale from 1 to 5, whereas 5 being an excellent resolution and 1 being poor in my view. So my New Year's resolution has not changed for probably the last 10 years. I always have a New Year resolution to do less. And that's because I'm a naturally productive person and I'm always filling every minute of every day. Here I am with 2 hours free in the morning and I'm doing a 1 hour live stream. So I seem to jam pack my day with stuff and I like to consciously tell myself to do less. And so it does amuse me when I get emails from motivators telling me, you know, sign up for their program and you can do 10x in next year what you did this year. I'd like to do less next year than what I did this year. I feel like I'm a naturally productive person and so doing less will bring about better balance for me. Obviously, if you're a person that does sweet FA, you're going to need to do more. But I think for all of us, there's just too much of everything. Too much news, too much work, too much exercise, too much food, and less of everything is going to make me a happier person. Frugal Wanderer, I like your resolution there, maintaining the balance. I think that's the secret to life, and that balance doesn't always have to be up at a high level. You can maintain a balance wherever you are in life. So maintaining the balance is a 5 out of 5 for me, Frugal Wanderer. I think do less is probably a 3.5 or a 4 out of 5, but that's where I am. I wouldn't advocate everybody to do less, but I like to do less. The second resolution for me, and I've only got 3, is focus on family. Now I do this already, but that is my center, that is my reason for doing what I do, focus on family. And I've got some family excitement happening next year, and I want to be fully tuned in to focus on that and focus on the joy of family and having good friends around me. So if I have to skip a hobby day of doing a YouTube, I will be focusing on family. You might have noticed through December I've smashed some video art. That's of art for you every day. That won't be happening in 2025. I will be doing less. I just thought I'd test out the YouTube gods with 31 varts in 31 days and see what happens. And the third one on my list, coincidentally to all of you watching, is balance. Just to make sure that I maintain that balance. I'm busy when I want to be busy. I'm doing less when I want to be doing less. When it's family time, I'm focused on family time. And so that's my third resolution. And I think, you know, without complicating life, make sure that that balance maintains, remove complications. If something's irking you, don't do it anymore. If you're sick and tired of working for the man, resign, go and do something else. Doing more with less is always a good goal, and that's the mantra. That's the mantra in the office, Sean. Sounds like you're heading back to the office. Do more with less. Whip, whip, whip. I was a consultant for a lot of my life, and I can tell you that a lot of places I worked with, they actually did less with less. So, and I have worked in organisations where that was the goal. Rather than doing more with less, they wanted to do less with less. They wanted to focus on what was important. I'm joking with you. I know where you're coming from. Doing more with less is admirable. And I guess, probably to sum up my goals, that would be me. I want to do less, but I want to do more. So how do you get that balance? Yeah. Well, that's doable. I mean, content creation is an interesting thing. So, I've punched 31 VARTs out in 31 days in December, but I had these strung out to go out on Tuesdays and Thursdays through to the end of March. So I wouldn't have to produce another piece of solid gold content about my freedom framework until April. And I just thought it's silly of me, not anybody else, it's silly of me having that all lined up, because I've got things I want to say every week to the community. And so I thought what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch all those 31 pieces of solid gold out to the community. I'll be empty by Christmas, and then in the new year we'll figure out what's going on. Now for me, I've got two conundrums. One is not monetized, haven't got enough views. I'm about 1,000 views short and I've got 3 months to go. So unless I succumb to popularism and punch out a popular piece of content, I'm never going to be monetized. That's annoying, only because it's a status thing. I want to be in the top 10% of content creators. However, as a balance thing, this is a hobby, and I shouldn't give two hoots about whether I'm monetized or not, because I'm not doing it for money. So when the money comes, I won't be doing it for money. I'm doing it because I like to connect with a community, share my life here in Vietnam, and talk about the funny things I see as I wander around the streets. So I really have to, again, I want to do more, get more, be more, but I also want to just keep it about Vietnam, Steve. So I've got a bit of a conundrum there. Daily YouTubing is not sustainable, in my view. You'd need a team of people to help you, and you would be working for a job. I think, and there's many YouTube channels out there that tell you what the optimum posting is. I think 2 a week would keep a YouTube channel ticking along, and that was my original plan, spreading everything out to the end of March. And maybe a live stream interspersed every now and again. I have to say, Frugal Wanderer has a great channel. I enjoy his walk and talk content, and that's the content I enjoy. So I'm not watching curated YouTubes, I'm watching walk and talk people. He has a regular schedule, and he's very particular about his schedule, and his schedule includes a live stream every week. And hi, Big Dow. And his schedule may change, and that's thrown me into a spin, because I like the schedule. So it shows that when we're on the end of viewing our content creators, we like a bit of a schedule. I can't commit to a live stream every week because I need an hour or two of silence to do it, and I don't regularly schedule an hour or two of silence in my week. Today I've got some late commitments, 11 and 12, and so I've got free time now for an hour to talk to you, which is great. I'd love to do a live stream once every 2 weeks, just to keep people up to speed on how I'm going and let them see me in real life and ask real life questions. And I'd like to have a piece of video content going out a couple of times a week, just to keep everybody interested. So that brings me on to item 9, which is, you're hearing it here first. Next year, I'm going to have to move back to Australia for a period of time. My wife and kids here have received visas for Australia. Happy news. And my goal, the family goal, is to give those kids a great education and get them through university somewhere else other than Vietnam. So at the moment, that's Australia. So Vietnam Steve is going to be in Australia for the bulk of his time in the year. And that's sort of throwing me into the conundrum of what do I do with the content creation, because being a hobby means I love it. It's not a job that I despise, it's a hobby I love. What am I going to do with the content creation? So I would be interested in your comments on that one. Where can Vietnam Steve add some value? And I've gone to AI, the good old Chat GPT, to say, how could Vietnam Steve still run a channel called Vietnam Steve if he's not in Vietnam? And I got some great ideas, so I'll bounce these off you. None of them take my fancy, but they were good ideas. It basically said that if you were not in Vietnam, but you had a channel called Vietnam Steve and it had all the content, 200 VATs that Vietnam Steve has created, you could consider talking about travel memories. Great idea. I'm probably not going to do that. You could actually focus on some cultural insights about Vietnam and what the culture of Vietnam's all about. So it's not requiring walking around the street talking about funny things I see. You're talking about cultural insights. Very interesting, but would require some research, and that's not part of my hobby, so I'm probably not going to do that. I could do some interviews with people, so I could find people in Vietnam and interview them side by side on the channel here, and that would be great Vietnamese content. The other one that was a bit like that, I've got them on a bit of paper here. I can't quite read it. Subscriber stories. So again, it's, I would think, subscribers that are in Vietnam, and a lot of my subscribers are. Thank you very much. Get them on and get their stories. I love the interview process. I watch a couple of people that do interview channels, and I love it. It sucks me in, and I watch the whole thing, 30, 40 minutes. But the people that I would interview would generally be my friends here, and I don't want to use them for content on my channel, and sort of force myself onto them. I don't want to do that. So you notice when I'm filming things, I'm not asking people questions that are in my party. I'm just doing it as Vietnam Steve. And part of that is why I can't video meals and things. I'm very rarely eating alone, and it's a happy family time, and so I don't want to be jamming the camera in people's faces. I can't read the third thing that AI told me. It's something about something videos. I can't remember what that one was. The one that I could be documenting my next trip. Well, that's going to be as boring as batshit for all of you, so I won't be doing that. The one I like is just changing the focus of the channel to something like Vietnam Steve in Exile, and just start talking about what it's like coming from Vietnam, because I've been here for 6 years now, moving to the West and the shit show that is, and also integrating my Vietnam family into Western culture and the interesting stuff that they see, because they see things that I don't see because they're looking through a different lens. I'm thinking about that one. I'm also thinking about just letting it die its natural death and do something else. So we'll see what happens. I'm interested in comments on what Vietnam Steve in exile might look like, and that'll be sort of kicking off in the first quarter next year. Got a bit of time under my belt yet. Haven't got any YouTubes lined up, so whatever you see next year is going to be me on the ground here, and I will be here for a month or two getting that organised. Look, we've just about finished the time I wanted to allocate today. I'm going to go for about an hour. The last thing on my list is really to thank you all for your friendship and commentary over the last year. Really enjoyed meeting a bunch of YouTubers, a bunch of subscribers, and engaging with people on the chat every day about interesting Vietnam things. So thank you for that. I'm just so appreciative of the YouTube channel. And one of the things that I might be considering in that whole Vietnam Steve in exile is just expanding the hobby. So while it's a hobby on YouTube, it's very simple for me to make a video, put it all together and send it off to the YouTube gods. But I am thinking of expanding the content that I have across Rumble, Facebook, X, TikTok, Instagram, the whole shooting match. One of the reasons for that is, we've rented the shop house here, and you would have seen that video yesterday, and of course, go back and have a look at that one. The girls there are on TikTok, flogging those shoes every day. There's people buying those shoes on TikTok, so clearly there's an audience. And they have it's the delivery driver, but here they call it the shipper. So someone turns up on a motorbike with a big box on the back, they collect all the packages and they take them off wherever they have to be delivered to. So people are buying shoes online from the girl selling them on TikTok every day. And I just think, a hobby for me would be to understand these new technologies. Now, of course, I understand TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook, Rumble, the whole works, but really understand them by posting some content there. And of course, you only need one lot of content. If you've got 5 platforms, thanks to the platform gods, you've got 5 lots of content because there's 5 platforms. So that might be something I do. If you use other platforms for your news or to get your information, let me know which ones you use and which ones you think are the best. That would be interesting. The other thing I've got to consider going forward is I've got a lot of content, and some of it's from 2 years ago, but it's still me walking around the streets, and whether that can be repurposed for anything. Obviously, YouTube only sort of recognises your last 12 months of content, so anything you've done before that is fair game, I would think. The thing is maybe finding some of those videos that nobody's watched for 3 months and repurposing it. And of course, once you've got 365 of those, you can let one fly every day and never have to create content again, which kind of would defeat the purpose of the hobby. The final thing is I will try and have a monthly catch up with you. So I will try and get the live stream going once a month, and you can hold me to that. Today we're on the 18th of December. So I think by the middle of January, you should have another live stream, and that will keep you up to speed with what's actually happening with Vietnam Steve. If you want to know where I am on any day of the week, follow me on Instagram. I generally post the cake I'm eating or the coffee I'm drinking on Instagram. And that's actually where I am versus where YouTube's telling you I am. All right, a couple of videos coming up. Maybe not today. Maybe I'll let this one go for today. and I'll defer today's till tomorrow. So I've got a video talking about is there too much of everything, and how do we just simplify our life to make it more balanced. Don't do things that are unsustainable. Really work out what that balance is and then design your life around that balance. So is there too much of stuff in life? I've got another one. I went out here earlier. It's bitterly cold. So I've got a bitterly cold walk around the neighbourhood. But that's an interesting one. And then on Christmas Day, I'll have a special video for you going out on Christmas Day. It's a street scene here in Vietnam. It's got a little bit of backing music for you, and hopefully you can play that on the big screen on Christmas Day while you're eating your Christmas lunch and think of Vietnam Steve. Now, Christmas lunch for me is usually around a swimming pool, maybe with a turkey, lots of sweets and candies, and lots of kids running crazy with presents. But of course, that's down under. And so Christmas Day in Asia, and where you all are, is a little bit different. So please, in the comments, and even if you're watching this after it's been uploaded, and these live streams take about a day to upload, even comment then what you're having for lunch on Christmas Day. I'd love to see that. The internet here is 1,000 up and 1,000 down, but it still seems to take a long time for a YouTube live stream, 1 hour, to load to YouTube. I suspect that's on the YouTube end, because the internet here is very, very fast. That's it from me. Thank you for watching. Really appreciated your engagement today. I will commit to a monthly live stream. I won't commit to punching out a vart every day in January, but I will commit to engaging somewhere on the platform in the new year. Thank you all so much. I'll get my button and see if this works to stop the recording, but if it doesn't, I'll have to give you the finger. You'll be getting a video. I try and let them go about 4 p.m. every day here in Vietnam, so you'll be getting a video every day up to Christmas, and then I'm going to take about a few weeks off, and I'll be back with you in the new year with Vietnam Steve in exile.